The new update is just landed inside of Diablo Immortal. Welcome back to the channel. I've had some time to spend inside of the game and test out all of the new features, specifically the new auto battle, or we should say auto open world farming feature, so I can give you guys my honest feedback whether I think it's good, they did a nice job with it, or not. Also, there were some other updates that came to the game, including changes to Battlegrounds, which will be taking place very soon, as well as some new essences. So first things first, these things all kind of work well together. If we come on over here to the essence transfer, you go to your loyalty bonus, you'll notice that you will have the ability to unlock 6 new essences for whatever class it is that you are playing. Me, playing the Crusader right now, farming for the Barbarian, although I will say that I am probably going to be switching to Druid because those new Druid Bear essences are actually insane. That probably is the biggest update essence-wise out of all of the classes. Now, let's talk about this AFK farming feature a little bit. If you notice, right above my head here, we have this icon. And this icon allows us to activate our blessings, which I will actually pause right now. And it allows you to enable your auto battles. It's super easy. It is actually quite intuitive and not difficult to use. As you can see right here, I have remaining auto battle time. Look at this. I have 22 hours, 51 minutes, and 29 seconds. So I basically did an hour and 9 minutes of auto farming this morning. Just testing out the feature, seeing how it worked, and understanding whether it was a good feature or if it was something that I thought was kind of a waste of your time. And I am happy to report this is a very good feature, at least in my opinion. And looking at all of the comments in my video that I did yesterday, Indez and I both had a different stance about auto farming. I was more pro, he was more against, although he wasn't heavily against it. The comments came through with a lot of you saying things like, you don't have a ton of time to invest farming all day long. You like that you can get 24 hours per week of free farming. And many of you said that you don't log into the game to farm, you log into the game to do any events or battlegrounds or things like that. So most of you guys are actually pretty happy about this new feature, myself included. So big win right there for Diablo Immortal. Now, let's put this to play so you guys can actually see what goes on. First of all, you're gonna wanna know where to farm. And if you have no idea where to farm, I got you covered, because over on my website, Game Strategy HQ, we have guides for everything Diablo Immortal related. Our videos, we got Oroth, myself, and Indez, all of our videos posting there, builds that you can create and that you can go grab, but also we have all of our maps. And on the maps, we have lairs where you get your crafting ore materials and farming spots. So right now, I'm in the library of Zoltan Kuhl. You'll notice we pull it up right here on the map, and you could just easily see if I'm looking for farming spots, boom, there are 2 good farming spots in the library. One is right here and one is right up top there. Really easy to see. If I want to see where the hidden lairs spawn in this map, boom, I click on this, there are all the hidden lairs. If I want to know where the ore pop up, boom, that's where all the ore pop up. So really nice intuitive maps here showing you the things that you want. So if you're looking for farming spots, go to Game Strategy HQ, click on maps, it brings up all the maps inside of the game, and the ones that have good valuable farming spots, you can see exactly where those are. I'll be linking it in the description of this video so you can go check out the site and take value in whatever is over there. Now, this auto feature does bring up some type of a potential issue. When you think about AFK farming in the past, we would have people that would just kind of clog up a zone and everyone's in the same spot, no one's able to get anything, and they're all just kind of farming the same area. So for me right here, I'm gonna go to this area right here. Look, we have someone that is doing some farming right here. Actually, it looks like more of an active farm. What I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna place my auto farm, okay? We're gonna click on this right here. We're gonna enable auto battle. And it lasts for 60 minutes. Okay, beautiful stuff. You'll notice that it places this pillar down inside of the ground, and I basically have a radius around that pillar, and I will then kind of go towards enemies that may be in that area. Look at this, I'm even going around the corner and going around the walls. So this is something that was a lot smarter than I had anticipated. First of all, I thought it was gonna be more of a free roam, allowing you to roam like half of a map. which is not the case. It keeps you to more of a confined area, but it does allow you to stretch out towards where enemies may be. So you're not just confined to, you know, this set amount of space around your farming spot that you kind of stake into the ground. It will go a little bit deeper based off of where enemies are. Now, here's the problem that I could see happening. I just came to this spot and I placed my auto farm banner and I'm here for the next hour. At any point in time, I can salvage. I have a salvage pet, so I'll just come here. I'll salvage equipment while the auto farm is going on. It didn't stop the auto farm. Nothing changed right there. The problem is, if there is another group of people here, let's say there's a group of 4 and they want to do their gem farming, their normal daily gem farming, I could come in here and kind of mess up their farm experience. I can interrupt their spawns and farms. Now, unfortunately, I believe if we want this convenient auto farm feature in the game, we're gonna have to deal with these types of things. Inside of the game, we're gonna have to use courtesy and we're gonna have to try to not mess up people's farms. But let's be honest, guys, it's gonna happen, especially with some of the newer players that don't know about that courtesy, don't know what they may be doing when they're just like, oh, I'm just auto farming. It's something that the game offers. So we need to try and be careful for that. Now, let's talk about how you should be farming. First of all, you could do 24 hours. The way that I plan on doing my farming is essentially Monday through Friday, I'll do 4 to 5 hours per day while I'm sitting here at my desk. What's that gonna allow me to do? One, it's gonna allow me to ensure that I hit my 24 hours per week, because let's be honest, sometimes on the weekend, I just don't log in, I'm at sports, and it's just not as active of a gameplay time as I normally get. So I'm gonna try and get my 24 hours in my Monday through Friday. I suggest you kind of get yourself a schedule for that as well. And I'm also going to activate my blessings sometimes during this. Because yeah, you wanna try and get the essences for alternative classes. You wanna try and get new essences, especially when new essences drop. So we can activate blessings. Now keep in mind, you only have 7 hours and then a new hour per day. So essentially you only get like 7 hours per week of this. So not as much as you get from the auto farm itself. So make sure you're using it at smart times. Maybe save an hour for when you're running things like Abyssal Verge, or when you're running things like the like Heliquary and things like that. You're gonna wanna maybe have that available during that time as well. But I will say, over the hour of farming that I did this morning, how efficient was it? Is this an efficient way to farm? And one, I think it really does depend on where you choose. If you farm in a spot that doesn't have active spawns, it's not gonna be as fruitful. You're not gonna get as many rewards, as many pieces of gear. And if you choose a great spot, continuous spawns, you'll get a lot more stuff. I've probably salvaged 4 times this morning in that hour. That means I filled up on gear about 4 times. I'm gonna salvage again right now. And I also definitely picked up a bunch of new legendaries as well along the way. I already identified some. We have another one here. I probably picked up in the hour about 4 legendary pieces of gear, which is quite good. Now, some of you may say, and I saw this in the comments a lot, so I definitely want to address this. People said, my gear, it's all level 30. My gear's all level 30. Why do I need to farm? Well, remember, a lot of farming is for 2 reasons. One, to unlock new essences. That's the main reason, because if we're being honest here, the gear that you're finding in the open world is not always the best, most high quality gear, but it will help you unlock essences. So this right here is a great source of essence unlock, but it's also gonna get you the scrap materials that you need for refining your pieces of gear. Remember, once you get your slots all to 30, you still wanna refine your gear to make it perfect for the builds that you're putting together. And if you don't, that's fine if that's not what you want to do, but this is always valuable. Another thing that I heard people say is a lot of the hardcore players, you know, I guess you could say whales, but it's not limited to whales. It could even be free-to-play players that are hardcore. They say 24 hours a week, that's not going to help me at all. I beg to differ. I don't care who you are. 24 hours is 24 hours saved for you. If you're someone that farms, let's say 72 hours a week, well, you just cut down your time by 24 hours and you could use this feature and get a little bit of your life back. Please do get a little bit of your life back. Let this happen in the background while you're doing something else, and then engage in other, maybe more fun activities inside of the game. And if you love farming for some reason, then you don't have to use the feature. But I don't think that this feature is a game killer, and I actually think it's a great way, especially for casual players. This is going to benefit them the most, but it does also benefit those higher end players, allowing them to just, you basically have your own private pilot inside of the game that can farm essences for you and farm scrap materials for you on a weekly basis. And 24 hours is a decent amount of time. Like, you're going to be able to get experience from this as well to help keep you at Paragon. We'll see after 1 week of testing, but I think that 24 hours of this type of active farming is going to be something that's going to give you enough experience with other gameplay as well inside of the game throughout the week, is going to easily keep people and players at the Paragon levels that they need to be at. It's going to be a great, maintaining your level system as well. Now, one thing that I want to stress is the part of the reason why I want to do this 5 days a week and not, let's just say, 2 days a week for 12 hours straight is because, one, and I talked about the gear that you get from it, but I also already have turned in 2 monstrous essence. All right, and let's see how much I have right now. And now I could turn in more right now. Okay, this guy wants to party up. Great idea, because that's another thing. When you party up, it's going to allow you to get those gems when you have a party of 4. So I would highly recommend get a group of your friends that you can meet with on a daily basis, and you just kind of set up these auto farms, and it's going to farm your daily gems for you. This is going to be my 3rd, I believe, turn in of the bestiary this morning alone. 2nd or 3rd. Either way, we've been in here for an hour, right? And now we're already getting more monstrous essence that we would have gotten if we didn't farm for the day, which is actually really huge. So now I'm in this party of 2 right here, or we have a party of 3, I guess I should say. I'm gonna come right over here, and I'm gonna put on my auto. I mean, honestly, what I could do is I could just put on follow if I wanted to. I could just put on follow, but it's not gonna use my skills, so I'm not gonna do follow. What I'm actually instead going to do is I'm gonna place my spike in the ground, and we're gonna auto farm right here in a party of 3. And you want to try and get another person into your party if you can, so that you can maybe get those extra gems that you want to get throughout the day. Do parties of 4. What are we gaining from this? We're gaining more regular monstrous essence if you're someone that doesn't normally farm. You're gaining more gold and scrap materials than you would typically get unless if you farmed a ton on a regular basis. You're unlocking new essences as well. And what is Diablo getting? Let's be honest. They're getting more time of us in game, which really looks, 1, good for the game. It's 2, good for the players and investors inside of Diablo Immortal. The ones giving the money to them are going to be happy because they have an active player base inside of the game. Now, what do you do when you run out of your 24 hours of farming? Because really, you're looking at not 24 hours of auto farming. You could organize this with friends and turn it into 4 days straight of auto farming. And how do you do that? If I wanted to, I could turn off the auto farm. I could completely turn it off, and I can just follow someone in this battle. So we could alternate what days we do, and we could do 10-hour slots at a time where we're just going, and between all 4 players, you have 24 hours each per week. And you can then just follow around the leader that has the time, and then bam, you're taking good advantage of it. You have tons of time, so you literally could farm. And again, you need to be here to check in on it and all of that, but you could literally farm for 24 hours straight, 4 days a week. And you could, I mean, honestly, you could auto farm forever inside of the game with a good group of people that understands the whole mechanic. I think this is a win for Diablo Immortal. I'm personally happy as someone that is a busy person, plays multiple games. You guys know my life. I love that I can come in and I could have this open world farming happen for me, so I don't have to do it manually anymore. Even if it was like, lazy type farming, it was still less lazy than this. So now look, we have a legendary over here. We're going to be able to pull up. My teammates are on it, so a legendary should drop. I actually got one. There was an elite over there. I got it before. And over here, look, we're collecting gear. All I do is salvage equipment with my pet. Boom, it's going to salvage. We're collecting monstrous essence, gems, maybe even some of the new essences. This is a good feature. I'm enjoying it. Let me know what you think of the new auto farm, because it's not auto battle, the new auto farming feature inside of Diablo Immortal. Are you a fan or are you not? Now, also on Game Strategy HQ, in addition to all of the maps that we have added to the game, we also just added this new database section, which gives you details on legendary gems, set items, legendary items, and all of the new essences have been added to this as well. So all of the new essences that you could need for your class are going to be here. Everything can be sorted and all of that. And also, because of a request that recently came in, people were looking for legendary gems. But what are the resonance gems inside of that? We got you covered right here. All of the resonance gems are now shown what goes inside the blessing of the worthy and all others, and what gem would the blessing of the worthy or others resonate within. So where would you put them inside the Bottled Hope, Faded Trail, Frozen Heart, and Seeping Bile? Hope you guys utilize Game Strategy HQ. It's a big project that we've been working on for quite some time, focused on Diablo Immortal right now, but many more games to come. Game Strategy HQ, link down below. Let me know what you think of the auto farming, and I hope you guys enjoyed Diablo Immortal today.